As you all know, Black Clover Mobile is officially launching very, very soon. Now, I covered this game originally when it first launched, which, by the way, was ages ago. I went through the game, I played the game for the first 3 months, and then I fully gave up on it. I felt that the changes just weren't enough, and I didn't like the game, so I moved on. And now we finally get the global release, the CA version. By the way, I tried it. The VPN thing just really butchered me, so I never continued onwards with it because it kept on kicking me out, kept on crashing. So I didn't really get to enjoy the CA version. So now I'm hoping to enjoy the global version, similar to how I enjoyed the game for the first 3 months when it initially launched. But today, I want to give you a quick little reroll guide from the knowledge that I have and whatever I learned throughout the game. I also did a lot of sort of deep diving through these units to at least give you better kind of descriptions of everything, so you know what to pull for and what each character kind of does and what their main gimmicks are for each one. So today, let's get into it. If you're new to the channel, like and subscribe, helps out a ton. Let's check it out together and let's see what we can cook up here. First, let's establish a fact here. How does this reroll system work and what do we have to know about it? First things first, you have this over here. It's a summon system. The summon system looks like this. You'll get an SSR every single time. One of the captains, one of the regular characters. It's going to be different every single time again. And then you can just keep re-rolling to where you get multiple SSRs and whatnot. That is the main thing you're going to be chasing. You'll get a character like this. Let's say you like this multi. You can actually choose to save the multi, or the multi is not good for you. You're going to go and reset it. You can do that 20 times. And then again, after the 20 times, you'll pick one of the ones that you like the most, which is the one that you probably saved. Who do I save? Who do I go for? What do I go for? That is my point, and that's what I'm trying to answer in this video. So we'll get through it together. Let's hop into that. And just again, that's the quick little overview of what this is. It's not technically an infinite reroll, but it's close enough. It's 20 rerolls. In my opinion, it was pretty good. It took me, by the way, 7-8 accounts to get what I wanted exactly. So just keep that in mind. You can get multiple where it's a skill page and a character. I aimed for that in my original. I got, I think, 2 skill pages and a character, and that's what I gave up on. But also know that SSRs are also very important, which we'll get to that in a second. But just know that this game really does, similar to Grand Cross when it first launched, has very strong SRs. So never sleep on them. They're going to be pretty good. First up, who do I go for? What am I going to go for? First character is Lotus. Lotus simply is a very good character. He is literally one of the best debuffers in the entire game. He also is going to be a wonderful character when it comes to farming, which in this game you're going to be doing a lot of. On auto, this character is going to freaking excel. Sure, there's other characters similar on this list that will also excel, but I gotta say, for anything to go off of, Lotus is the best character to go for. Originally, when we first made our guides, I think that Lotus was also there on the top. It was Lotus and I think Mars, and this time again it was Lotus and Mars. So it's kind of funny that those things kind of worked. Back then, people also said Jack was a must-have, and Jack ended up being like the worst character out of the bunch, which is funny. So keep this in mind. Lotus is a very good character, very strong debuffer, outstanding character for farming. It is going to be your absolute carry when it comes to PvP content and PvE associated content for, again, farming, where the main dungeon is the red dungeon. That is a dungeon that you need to farm for the main core pieces to gear, which again is going to be a long haul for you. So you kind of need Lotus. Simply put, he is one of the best characters to pick. If you can end up getting Mars instead, these two characters will go hand in hand with each other, and they are very powerful. The thing is that you don't exactly per se need Mars, because there's the quote-unquote free-to-play alternative, running Soul instead, a blue tank character who, again, that's the point. It being said, if you look at both of them, they're both, you know, tanks in a way, and people say that Soul is just a better option to go for, because again, if you're not getting Mars, then that's there. That is your alternative, and at the end of the day, they both are going to be good. They both are going to be there, but I still think that if you're looking, you know, at the aspect of, hey, I need my number one character. Who's that character? I think we can all affirmatively say, go for Lotus. Lotus is great, wonderful, best debuffer as mentioned, wonderful for farming PvP. He'll be on like every PvP team for ages to come, so make sure that's clear. Time will progress, things will change, keep that in mind, but Lotus is life. Lotus is permanent, okay? That's gonna happen. He'll be here. He's not leaving. You'll see him every day. But again, not to disgrace this one, I still think Mars is a great option. I would say, again, if I'm going for it, I'm going to go for Lotus. Mars is like right after, right behind in my opinion. Again, a wonderful character. It's a blue tank. Soul is there, kind of exists. Best tank in the game is right here, though. I do think that also what I heard from the KR players, the JP players originally, he didn't get like per se ruined and like everyone beat him out of his own position. He kind of remains his position. Hence why, you know, he kind of still exists in most teams. So for that, longevity-wise, still good to have Mars. But again, Lotus, Mars, I would say 1 and 2. That's how I would say it. If you want to go to 3 and 4, these two are interchangeable in a way. Both characters being Rades, right? And then William Vengeance, both characters are very good. One's a offensive sort of buffer in a way, being this one a supported character. Basically, you can see that from the name right there. And then the other character is going for a more so of a shield application, right? So again, both characters are good. Both characters are going to be very strong. And they're going to be, again, in our sort of next 2 slots here. But I do want to make this clear. When you are re-rolling, realize that if you do see a Charmy and a Lotus tied together, or like other characters tied together, like let's say you got Mars, Charmy, and somehow Soul in one, well then, things just went down. Let's say you got like Lotus, Soul, and Charmy. Things are different here. These 2 characters, just keep this in mind, being again the SR characters, Charmy and Soul, they are very good for what they're supposed to be doing, right? A blue healer over here. Again, in this game, type advantage is going to be a massive key component. Do not sleep on type advantage here. It is something that Grand Cross takes a little bit seriously. It does. Here, it takes it very seriously. So just know that now. At the end of the day, when it comes down to it, Charmy is going to exist as a very good character. Soul, again, as a very good character for that red dungeon, which, by the way, is a sort of core aspect of the game to where you want to be able to stomp that, farm that, do that, so that you keep your progression up and everything goes pretty well. So just keep that in mind. Again, if I were to say it in order, let's do it that way. Lotus is still my number 1 character to kind of aim for. Mars could kind of be replaceable, swappable in that position as Lotus. That does work out. William Vengeance, again, I would say if you were to like knock it down, it's here. I still would say that these 2 are the ones to aim for. If we were to knock it down, William Vengeance is a character you kind of want, a character you kind of need or whatever, like in your opinion. Go for it. Rades, again, you know, per se, nothing to like write home about in a way. He's still very good. It's just, I think that again, more so these 2 to aim for. But on the SR route, if you do get a Charmy, if you do get a Finral even, also another very, very strong character, or a Soul, you have 3 very good SR characters to aim for. They both, rather all 3 do very good for what they need to. So do keep that in mind. That is something to very much mention. So again, that is there. But now beyond that, beyond this aspect, there's also one more thing. What am I talking about here? It's the seasonal stuff. Take a look at this. So simply you have 3 characters over here. I will go and X out this tab here. I'm sorry, Mars, you're a great character, but I gotta swap in for Yami here. Now I'll be honest here. I'll be very honest here. In my opinion, all right, so this one's gonna go against a lot of people that are currently saying it. People are pushing the Yami meta. If you're playing this game long term and you really care for long term, you're not gonna go for Yami. All right, I'm gonna be honest with you. Yami's not yours. Yami is a full blown attacker. He's gonna do great damage. He's gonna do god tier damage right now. But like long term, it's not gonna be there, right? In PvP, usually, I actually kind of heard this too. He mainly counters a lot of stuff, right? A lot of one shots, a lot of stuff like that. But the amount, like originally when I first played the game with KR, we learned like, oh yeah, Yami's great. Yami's the best. Pick Yami. He died a little bit after. So just saying this now, I don't know that if the extent is going to be there for Yami. So that's why I'm saying I'm not going to give you that advice to reroll Yami. This is, again, a separate section because it's choosing if you want to reroll. If you want to go for one of these characters and see how that gets you, you can do it, right? I do think that for Season 1, you kind of want to get 2 of these characters because you're going to pick one for free. Remember that. Now, beyond picking one for free, who else am I getting? So who are you getting? Let's answer that right now. I'm already crossing out Yami. That only leaves me with Asta, a wonderful damage dealing character, a freaking wonderful character for damage amplification, damage just increase overall. This character is very freaking good, and he's going to be good. Now, he's going to pop in, pop out, and do a lot of sort of long-term stuff. So if you're looking for more of a long-term option, Asta's the way to go. Now, you're looking very long-term. You're looking like, hey, healing character, resurrection, very annoying to deal with, stalling in PvP, wonderful heals and whatnot, that's Mimosa. Now, how I would do it, if I was in your shoes and how I'm going to do it, I'm going to pull one, pick one. Now, who am I pulling? Whoever the damn game wants to give me. Whoever the game wants to give me, right? If I get Asta, then I'm picking Mimosa. At the end of the day, if I can only get one, who am I getting? That I'm going to do a more deep dive in a separate video. I personally think that Mimosa has so much longevity. That resurrection, that heal is just going to be so nutty for future and whatnot. But that's not going to, again, discredit the fact that Asta exists and how strong he really is. And he also is long-term. I can't lie to you by saying that he's not long-term. He has that same thing where he's long-term. Again, amplification and whatnot. He's going to be pretty good. So what I say, it's, in my opinion, I'm gonna do Mimosa. Go for that as my option. That's what I'm gonna kind of chase in a capacity. That's what I kind of think. But I'm also going to be picking Asta if I possibly can, or pulling. But do one of the two. I personally think that Yami can be ignored in this one, just because it's like you're not going long term. You're going short term. He's gonna be great. He's gonna be wonderful. People. That's why like the advice that's like flying around right now, in my opinion, is incorrect, because it's like, you don't want to screw yourself in a month. You like you did all that, you picked the character, but did you really help yourself? Did you really push yourself? Like, you're watching a whole blown guide saying, reroll for this so you have the best, account for a while, and then you choose Yami afterwards, where, he's not gonna get that same sort of longevity that Asta or Mimosa will grant you. Then why do it, correct? Because you're watching this for a reason, right? You want to be able to push with Lotus, destroy Red Dungeon, destroy all that, farm properly, do this, and not having Lotus, Mars, or some of these characters on your account, it's crippling. It really is. So remember that at the end of the day, but that's my 10 cents on everything. That is my full-blown thought process on the reroll guide. Hopefully my information came out thorough and at least knowledgeable to you. With everything, I hope you enjoyed. Just a quick little video here. Again, Lotus is what I'm chasing when it comes to the S1 characters over here. There's a bunch of other characters released. Remember, through everything, Mimosa and Asta will stay pretty much top tier, and they'll stay very good as time progresses. I personally think that Yami sort of falls off after a while. But again, that's just my 10 cents. SR characters, these are three of the highlight ones in my opinion. Very, very good. Not to, again, discredit William or Radies over here, or even Mars. They're all three great characters. Remember, it's Mars, Lotus, there's options here. So you do have things to chase, and you have options. If you don't like Lotus, you hate his design, you'd rather go for Mars, right? That's mainly the case. So, hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and have a fabulous day.